There have been two rather different traditions of philosophy as practiced in the Western world in the past century. What is known as continental philosophy, practiced in France and at least until very recently in most other countries of continental Europe, derives from the writings of such post-Kantian philosophers as Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, and Heidegger. Though there are many important differences between continental philosophers, what is common to many of them is that they seek to describe human phenomenology and the possibilities for human choice in a post-Enlightenment world largely empty of intrinsic meaning. Yet, educated in that tradition, Russian Orthodox philosophy of the late 19th and 20th centuries, and in particular Solovyov, Bulgakov, and Berdyaev, as also some more recent French philosophers, and in particular Ricoeur and Marion, have sought to redirect philosophy in such a way as to recover Christian doctrines. But for myself, I must admit I haven't found this a very satisfactory kind of philosophy. And therefore I am solidly in the stream of the other kind of philosophy that is practiced in the English-speaking world, and that is often called, somewhat misleadingly, analytic philosophy. It's an examination of the nature of reality, metaphysics, the constituents of the physical and mental worlds and how they interact, and the extent to which humans can know, or at least have justified beliefs about this matter. Epistemology, it's metaphysics, what there is, and epistemology, what we can know about it. It is, as now practiced, a discipline very sensitive to the latest pronouncements of science and seeks to establish its conclusions by rigorous argument. Although classical philosophers are sometimes, but not always, mentioned in philosophy writings, the emphasis is on the true solutions to philosophical problems rather than by any attempt to describe their history. And in this tradition, philosophy of religion is concerned with how God fits into this picture. Hence, philosophy of religion, as now practiced in the English-speaking world, is concerned with to what extent can human words be used to say anything about the attributes of God? What is it for God to be omnipotent, omniscient, perfectly good, necessary, and so on? It's concerned with arguments for the existence of God and arguments against the existence of God, especially the argument from the occurrence of suffering. It's concerned with the relation of Christianity to scientific claims, the nature of human beings, the meaning and justification of particular Christian doctrines, to the extent to which there are a priori arguments in favor of some of these, which do not rely extensively on historical claims. In the 1950s and 60s, philosophy of religion was not seen to be a serious intellectual enterprise in philosophy departments. But since then, because of what's often called the metaphysical turn in analytic philosophy, and because analytic philosophers of religion use the concepts and results of other areas of philosophy, there has been an enormous growth of books and articles in undergraduate and graduate courses on the philosophy of religion throughout philosophy departments in the English-speaking world. What I mean by use other results of other disciplines, almost all the areas of philosophy of religion examined by analytic philosophers are ones which are of profound concern to all Christians. But we strongly believe, I, David Bradshaw, and everybody else who does the philosophy of religion, believe that work done in this area in recent years by analytic philosophers of religion is vital for the intellectual defense of Christianity in this new era of the new atheism of the Western world. Orthodox church leaders and believers are almost entirely ignorant of this work, more so than Protestant or Catholic leaders. And we do very much hope that IOTA can help to get this work known very much more widely in the Orthodox world. We hope, too, that if Orthodox theologians begin to write with familiarity to this tradition, they will be able to introduce analytic philosophers whose limited knowledge of theology is based on Catholic or Protestant writings to the work of the Greek Fathers. For example, the views of the Greek Fathers on the divine attributes, including God's passibility, his openness to suffering, and God's relation to time, his being in time as opposed to timeless, seem to me ones which Western writers ought to take into account when describing Christian views on these topics.